Biggest barriers to success in organizations are misunderstandings, relationships, and blaming. And it all comes down to language, doesn't it? Our words, the way we communicate with others. And no wonder this is the case when our brains work the way they do. And it's also why I'm going to take you through today how the brain works. And don't freak out on me, I'm no neuroscientist. You are absolutely safe with me. I'm only going deep enough to help us understand why we language our worlds the way we do and how it has such a huge impact on our results and outcomes every single day. Hi and welcome, my name is Jo, and this video is for leaders like you that want to reconnect with your confidence and energy and gain clarity to step back in charge of your leadership and life. So let's look at a powerful communication model. For starters, this model comes from the study of NLP. NLP stands for Neuro Linguistic Programming, and it's mainly about how we communicate with ourselves and others, and we can use it extensively to improve our results, which is why I've been studying it for over 11 years and I became a master trainer in it. It's used heavily in business, in psychology, and also in the world of coaching. And it's been helping people succeed since the 1970s. But it just keeps getting better with all of the developments around neuroscience and positive psychology. So take a breath and listen up, because I'm about to help you understand how you can change the way you language your world to strengthen your leadership and your life. The NLP Communications Model is one of the most comprehensive models on communication, yet it's surprisingly simplistic for normal people like us to understand. Now, this is how it works. Everything in our world starts with an external event. Anything from you kicking your toe when you get out of the shower in the morning, to something massive like September 11, or even the delight of your first kiss. Brendan Kennedy, Mullally Public School Bush Dance, 1982. We interpret every event or situation that occurs in our lives through our 5 senses: our sight, our sound, our touch, and also, but less so, our smell and taste. We're typically taking in and processing about 2 million bits of information per second. Now, that's going to depend on the study you read. Most things say it's between 2 and 4 million, but really, regardless, that's a lot of information to take in at any second, isn't it? Now, the vast majority of this information absorption and assimilation takes place unconsciously. If you think about it, it really has to. I mean, can you imagine trying to consciously process 2 million bits of information? Geez, it would be absolutely exhausting and not at all sustainable or practical. I mean, I kind of think about it, if we had to process like 2 million bits of information at any one time, I sort of think about that movie Austin Powers, and when there was that scene with the fembots. Now, Austin Powers was in his bedroom being all like sexy 70s style, like rubbing his hands through his hairy carpet chest, and the fembots, these sexy robots, came into the room, and as they see Austin in all of his sexiness, they just simply cannot cope, and their heads literally explode. Well, that moment where their heads explode, I think that is exactly what would happen if I needed to process 2 million bits of information at any one time. What about you? So therefore, in order for us to discern and utilize information, our system decides what's relevant to us, relevant based on what we already know. Now, our nervous system filters out a lot of information through this process. Now, the problem is our process of communication means that when we filter information, we do so by understanding the message through how we perceive the world around us, not by what the other person intended, but only by what we perceive in that moment. So in other words, we're biased by our own filters. We see what our filters allow us to see. We interpret things according to how we are tuned mentally through our values, through our beliefs, and our experiences. Even what your grade 3 teacher said to you about your creativity. And through these filters, we tend to do 3 different things with the information. Now, this is massive, and it happens to you and every single people that you're having conversations with at work, every minute of every day, no exceptions. Okay, so to decide the information is relevant, we delete, distort, and generalize every bit of information that comes to us. Let's start by looking at deletion. We can delete and dismiss certain parts of information in an attempt to contain all of the information we're receiving. We quite literally focus on what we think is important despite the actual reality, and we delete the rest. Or we might be distorting information through typical irrational views, like making something worse than it sounds or overreacting, for example. Now, I know none of us would have overreacted, but if we did, that's why we do it. And we also generalize the information by thinking the same thing every time. So for instance, I did this before and it went wrong. I'm sure it'll go wrong again, so I'm not even going to try ever. When we link experiences and memories to generalized views, then we're normally and irrationally assuming it will always be that way. So no wonder so many of us feel so eek about things like challenging conversations and conflict, those experiences we have every single day as a leader, because we're generalizing them. I know, this is cool, isn't it? But just remember, this is a chance for you to learn and grow, not to be tough on yourself for past experiences. When we know better, we have the chance to do better, right? Now back to the model. After our systems receive the information from our senses, it's gone through our filtering system and it's been DDG, delete, distort, and generalized. Then we give it a meaning, an internal representation. We're humans, right? We're meaning-making machines. We give everything meaning, which leads instantaneously to a state, mental or emotional, or a mood, how we're feeling. And that is paired by our physiology, how we physically hold our body. Yeah? Then, finally, after all of this, which has taken like a nanosecond, then and only then do we act or react. So how did you go with that? Look, feel free to go back and listen to this a couple of times because you're going to take something powerful from this every single time you listen to it. Okay, so let me ask you a couple of questions. How does this model and the DGG, the delete, distort, and generalize, impact your language as a leader? The way you convey yourself to others, the way you conduct yourself in tough situations, the way you do or do not choose to speak up in meetings. Want to take things up a notch? Well, take a moment now to think of a scenario at work that plays out where you often find yourself not using the language you want to. How can this model help you and the situation next time this happens? Well done. I'm so proud of you for taking the time for yourself today. Look, it's that commitment that is supporting you to be an even more influential leader every single day. Hey, now you've made it this far. I want you to go and watch the next video where I teach you how to believe new things. You see, we get very wedded to our beliefs, but the thing is, they're made up. We make up our beliefs ourselves. So if we make them up, that means we can pretty easily change them if they're not working for you. I'm going to explain how to do this on the next video. So I'll see you over there in a sec.